Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, baby, here we go. Welcome to Thursday's KVJ After the Show podcast. What's up? Almost to the weekend.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it'll be nice to get to another round of relaxation and enjoyment.
Kind of flew by.
Yeah.
It did. It's a quick week.
That is life for you.
Be careful. Today's a full moon.
Oh, I know. I can feel it in the air.
Don't do nothing crazy and watch out for other crazies.
Me and Denny's were just looking up werewolf stuff before the podcast started.
Coincidence?
I think not.
You're going to find a werewolf this weekend?
I
You're
just
going to become one.
Well, it's my favorite month. I love October. I love Halloween. I love candy. I love horror movies. So in October, this is when I start watching a bunch of horror stuff, and I'm kind of on a werewolf kick right now.
Okay.
There was this 1981 movie called Howling, and I was just showing it to Denny's and Soups. And it's really creepy. So I don't know why I told you guys that. But
No, well, now it's here. We're October 1st, so my decorations are all going up this weekend.
I love it.
We are in it, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of love this time of year, typically. It's a little weird this year.
It is.
But, I'm still ultimately got optimism on it because I think that trick-or-treating is going to happen. I think that's all still going to go down.
I don't see how it's not going down.
Yeah.
I can. There's an energy. I can tell just by going out that things are changing slightly.
Yeah, they're cranking the doors open on stuff. I think that the new testing is going to be a big help. And then, just life is opening up.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's all going to be good.
Just a weird year, man.
It has been the weirdest of years.
It is. I'm a sports guy, and just yesterday watching baseball is just weird with, you're in the playoffs and there's nobody in the stands.
I know.
And the NBA. I mean, there are some cool things. I mean, you do have playoffs in baseball. The NBA finals are going on right now. They just wrapped up the Stanley Cup the last week. NFL's going on. I mean, so theoretically, you should say, wow, 2020 is the best year ever. Or is a part of you should feel that way?
No one is going to say that.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to say the exact opposite.
Exactly. But, I guess you just got to look a little bit harder for all the joys in life this time of year and what we're going through.
And I mean, if one thing good to come out of all of this for me has been how much I now appreciate just being able to gather with friends and how special that truly is. And just being able to get a group of 5 girlfriends together and hug and drink champagne. Like, I didn't realize how much I missed that.
Yeah.
So you need that. Humans need that. Even the loners need that every now and then.
You're right.
So much of life, it truly is your perspective. And too often we go through life looking for others to bring us joy. And it's really about accepting your own circumstances, whatever they might be, and finding the joy within you. And you really need to be responsible for your own joy. And when you do, and you understand that, have that perspective, life seems to be a lot better for people.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Absolutely. Boy, there was this tweet that I saw today that is one of those kind of perspective moments. And as you go into a weekend, you say, okay, just drink it in, make the most of it. It said, my granddad left an old bucket of balls at the batting cages, and he left a note on it as well. And it said, free. He said, I hope somebody can use some of these baseballs in the batting cages. I found them cleaning out my garage, and I pitched them to my son and grandson for countless rounds. My son is now 46 years old. My grandson is 23, and I'm 72. And I know that I am past my pitching days, but the joy that this bucket of balls brought my son and my grandson for years, you just don't know how quickly those years will be gone. So with every ball you throw, enjoy it as much as I did. pass on, hug them, tell them you love them, and have a great day.
I'm crying.
Then they found out that the whole thing was fake. Some kid wrote it, wanted to go viral.
They were new balls.
Yeah, new balls.
Brand new.
It wasn't even.
One of them had a price tag on it.
Not even a dad. Gotta go viral, Kev. By the way, I saw that. A lot of my baseball friends were sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sweet.
It is. You hope it's true.
No, I'm over here being a Grinch. I'm just fucking around. It's
But it is a
adorable.
lesson.
It's a lesson.
Yeah, it is a lesson. Something, too, this weekend. I'll have to do a dive tomorrow. Maybe for the first time since the pandemic, I'll have to kind of let you know what's going on this weekend because maybe there's actually something going on this weekend. I saw Green Market is going to be cranking open in West Palm Beach. And it looks like Green Market's going to be cranking open soon in Green Acres.
Green Market, that's a good date place.
It is. It is a really good date place, especially as the weather starts to turn.
Yeah,
You go out there on a Saturday morning and it's got a little crisp breeze coming off the intercoastal.
Got to break out some flannels.
You can get so much fun food at the Green Market. You can do a good bit of your shopping there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun little experience.
Virginia mansplaining the Green Market.
Well, I mean,
This weekend might not be the best weekend for the outdoor stuff. It looks like the rain that we had last night is going to stick with us pretty much through the weekend. 60% chance on Friday, Saturday, 50% on Sunday. And it looks like it's going to be rainy pretty much until about Tuesday.
ooh.
Yeah.
I was loving that thunder last night. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say on a podcast if you don't have thunder by where you were living at. But where I was living at, it thunder galore.
Mine got a little too intense.
Oh, I like when it rumbles.
When it felt like
Ours didn't rumble. That was the thing. Yeah, I like rumbling thunder. Ours was it was a clap and a loud, really like it wakes you up kind of thing. Like you are not going to be able to sleep through it. It sounded like bombs.
one of them felt like it hit my house.
Yeah, mine too.
I was already up anyway. I loved it.
I don't like it. Not that intense.
Yeah, it was a little
Come
much.
on now.
That's what
I'm
I try
with
to.
you.
I go to bed at
We
night
can
with
barely
that.
take a chicken wing on this show, so don't give us the
right.
death thunderclap.
The lightning was pretty big too. I was noticing that.
Yep, when I was driving into work, it was lighting up all the puddles.
Every time Kevin has one of those lightning stories and I'm out, I always feel like, oh my gosh, I can feel the heat. I can feel the light. I'm about to get a lightning bolt up my ass.
It's going in your ass.
Why
huh?
does it have to go up your ass?
I don't know.
It can't hit your head?
Nope.
When he sees it coming, he bends over. Please, take me.
The way I look at it, I wouldn't see it coming, and the lightning bolt would just go right up my ass. I don't know.
Did you see that man get raped by that lightning?
It went right up his ass.
Right up his ass. I never seen
Damn.
anything like it.
His butt smoking.
Our old producer got struck by lightning. Mariana.
Yeah. Did it go in her ass?
I don't feel comfortable talking about that, Kevin.
Okay. Just trying to figure out where this thing's going.
He loves ass play. You know that.
Okay.
I don't want a lightning bolt. I can't say it. Lightning bolt up my ass.
Valerie sent an email and said, yeah, you guys were playing a clip of Miley Cyrus covering Blondie. Was it Heart of Glass?
It
she
was.
did, yeah. I said, she sounded like fingernails on a chalkboard to me.
Aww.
Well, I think we all agreed we didn't love her on that song, but we do like her voice.
Yeah, like I said, if she was going to go with an 80s song, I think she would have sounded great doing I Love Rock and Roll. I think she's got a Joan Jett type of voice that if you would have stayed in that genre, I think that would work.
Didn't, though, Britney Spears, I love rock and roll. She did like the whispery
But
version.
she doesn't have the voice. In fact, it should have been reversed. Like Britney Spears should have done Blondie's Heart of Glass. I think that would have worked. And Miley Cyrus should be doing I Love Rock and Roll.
Well, let's call him.
I should. If I could, I'd be going, y'all did it wrong. Here's what you need to do.
I like Miley when she stays in that lane of sad or deep thinking kind of a. Those are my Miley cuts. That's when I love her voice.
Maybe I'm dumb. I liked it. I liked Miley doing Heart of Glass.
Do you want us to answer the first part of that?
You admire that vocal quality, huh?
I do.
Raspy sees raspy, dog.
Raspy gravelly to raspy gravelly.
I legitimize it.
Yeah, Valerie said, I just can't stand her voice. Are there any singers you guys hate hearing sing?
Yes.
Okay. Who'd you say?
The Volume Killer.
Definitely. Hate my own voice. But there's that one song. It's that loud. It's very loud, but it's slow. And it's soft, and we play it all the time right now.
It's very loud, but it's slow and it's soft.
Yeah, yes. It's a slow song, and it's sad, but it's still so fucking loud. The guy, he's just bitching and moaning, and he's so loud.
Sam Smith?
It's not Sam Smith. If you say the name, I'll know it.
It's Dan and Shay. I should probably go to bed.
That's one of them. They are on the list.
But that's not it.
Before you go, Louis Capaldi.
I think that's what... How's it go?
Before you go.
Yeah, I think that's his voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard you bitching about those too.
Yeah, I never liked Steve Winwood's voice either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring me a higher love.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bring me.
Well, I remember as a kid it was way overplayed, and I didn't care for his songs really. Because they were just that Higher Love was on the radio constantly.
Or the Valerie. Oh, get it off.
Yeah.
He sang that one too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was not a fan of his stuff either.
What about, does Michael Bolton annoy you?
I like the guy. I think he's not afraid to make fun of himself. He's even, spoofed last couple of weeks he came out with another commercial. I like him as a guy, but I couldn't stand his music.
It's not your vibe.
No, it's not. Yeah, and I would admit that. I would even tell him, it's just not my style. I admire your talent.
And
you're a cool dude.
Some of the voices, and I kind of put them all in the same category. They get even deeper than like a Pearl Jam. Everything here's like a 3 doors down, motherfucker. Like one of those kind of.
Yeah,
I can't.
It really is kind of funny. In fact, yesterday, because we always have RMF playing, my mother-in-law plays it, and so I hear it's coming from her bathroom, and they had that song "Wherever You Will Go," and I was just listening to how they got. And I'm like, why is this guy not sing normally? I was just listening. I mean, put that on today. Listen to that song and just listen to how he sings. It's very odd what he's doing to his mouth.
Yeah, Creed is a little tougher.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're putting it on, right?
And I just listened to it. I was just like, it's so weird. At the time, I guess it sounded normal and we loved it, but.
Eddie Vedder and Hootie is about her raspy and deep as I want to go.
Yeah.
Anything deeper, it's cheese dick to me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, voices. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know if there's really any voices that I necessarily hate. It was more just the songs that I didn't like.
I'm pissing all the Creed fans off. Here in the chat room.
They want to fight you.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy. Creed never got into that Nickelback zone. I think honestly, because I like harder rock, like Creed had some very respectable songs that they did. Scott Stapp, I think, was really kind of a douche nozzle and a tool, and I think that kind of got it. But if you remove the man and his episodes and just listen to the music, you're like, okay, there's some pretty good songs here.
I'll tell you the voice I don't like. Jim Morrison, sings everything like this. It's very drug. Jim Morrison from the Doors.
Come on, now touch me, babe.
Oh yeah, L.A.
Can't you see that I am not afraid?
I can't. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
The Doors suck.
I hate the Doors.
I don't like any Doors songs.
I don't either. Every time some asshole sings L.A. Woman at karaoke, I'm a pacifist. I want to kick that guy's ass.
Yeah.
Why do people like the Doors?
I don't know, man. I don't
get it.
I think it was cool. I think there was a mystique about the Doors.
Jim Morrison was hot.
Yeah, he had a persona.
He
The
had
whole
a
thing going
persona.
on.
He was a good-looking dude, but their music sucks balls.
Well, there's one song that I like a few from them. Some of the songs that, in fact, I don't know of a band where I feel more polar opposite about them, because a few songs I like, they have a song called Roadhouse Blues. His name's Keep Your Eye on the Road, Your Hands Upon. I like that song. But I hate, like you said.
That's the Doors?
That's the Doors, yeah. But I hate L.A. Woman and Riders on the Storm. There's a few that I just absolutely can't stand.
Riders on the Storm is one of those ones. It would be on I'm Going to Get Murdered playlist.
Yeah.
I can see myself just getting stabbed. Riders on the Storm.
Yeah, they've used it a lot in horror movies and those kind of things because it does have that sound. That is. It's in fact, Jesse said, trippy hippie music. That's what it is.
It's trippy hippie music for sure. What about old school Bob Dylan? His voice is pretty shitty too.
No, I don't really. I mean, there's only that one song that I've heard from him. I mean, they talk about what a great songwriter he is, but yeah.
The Rolling Stone one? Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the only thing that I really liked, he did do All Along the Watchtower, but I liked the Jimi Hendrix one. That's a great song. That sounds amazing. If you never heard All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix's version, I love that song. It's one of my all-time favorites. But Bob Dylan, now I'm good without him.
Do you like Tom Petty's sounding voice?
I do.
I love his voice.
Yeah. I love Tom Petty. I told you I saw him in concert, and it's just chill and awesome. And he was so stoned or drunk or both, he fell down on stage.
I went to, that was one of the coziest nights of my life. I went with my boy Frank, and I didn't really know anything about Tom Petty other than Free Fallin'. And I kind of didn't want to go to the concert. I'm like, hey, I'll have some beers. It might be fun. Had the best fucking time. Knew so many more songs than I knew, and the ones I didn't know, I ended up falling in love with and became a huge Tom Petty fan. It's cool when that happens.
I think there's a lot of these voices that really work in a certain niche in a genre and a feel. And what you're saying about Miley Cyrus, there are songs that she does. I think it's just made for her voice. And
sure.
I think good for her that she could easily start sliding into country and doing some of those, and it would be great. Her sister Noah is doing some amazing stuff. Not that they have the same voice, but she's already there, and the family obviously is tied into country. I think would be a great fit. There's another artist right now called Chris Stapleton, and I was listening to him the other day, and he writes songs that fit for his voice. And I don't think I would love him on a lot of stuff, but the songs that he does, freaking amazing. Just a really unique, great-sounding voice. If you've not heard him, I know he's in the country genre. People are like, I don't do country. Just try Chris Stapleton, because he's one of those ones. I like the ones that almost don't really fit into country. They are
you like cool country.
Well, it's more. It's I'd say a little bit more. It's almost a blues rock
alternative
kind of thing that it kind of they can jump in that whole Eric Church, some of those guys that kind of fit a little bit more southern rock kind of thing. Chris Stapleton would be one.
Do you like Dave Matthews?
I did in the 90s. I really outgrew Dave Matthews.
I did too. I was all
weird.
about ants marching and all that.
It's almost like when someone has something stuck in their throat, like clear your throat. That's kind of how I think he's got a good voice. I really do, but I think a lot of it sounds the same to me. Kind of like Jack Johnson. I love Jack Johnson, but everything sounds like this after a while.
I
love it.
Right. It's okay. We get it. Once you've done one song 18 different times.
Right.
And there's not a lot of variety in it.
But I do like Jack Johnson a lot.
Yeah.
He's very peaceful.
That is some beachy, chill.
It is weird how he just has a beach sound.
It's beach breakfast music.
It is. Yeah, I totally know what you mean.
So perfect.
And Grant has a good point, too. He said, Dave Matthews Band live is a different story. And there are some bands that are like that. To watch them live, it's more of an experience. And so I wouldn't necessarily want to listen to them in the car or at home. But Dave Matthews, I just watch I go and I watch his drummer. And you listen to his drummer, my good, unbelievable musicians that he's got on that stage, and to have an appreciation for them. Zach Brown Band is one of those. I used to go and watch that Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago that they would do. And you're like, oh my gosh, the experience of Earth, Wind, and Fire has 80 people on stage.
It's a show.
You're right, though, about Dave Matthews. His live shows are very, very good. And it's a different feel than the studio.
You drink it in more, because I'm just sitting there watching these guys. I'm like, these are very talented people. And to watch them perform, and you just, the music sucks you in that way. And you're right, there are some that are just live bands, and they're definitely in that category.
Queen was a live band, man. You watch Queen perform, you're like, holy shit.
Well, amazing musicians, and then arguably the greatest vocalist of all time.
I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Though I watch it at least once a month. It's where Prince joins George Harrison's kid, Tom Petty, and the lead singer of ELO, and they do My Guitar Gently Weeps. And Prince fucking burns the house down. Just go fast forward to the last. It's amazing. He throws the guitar up in the air, and you don't even, what is the guitar? And he just walks off stage. George Harrison's kid, he's got the biggest smile on his face. It's a really cool video.
It's magical moments. That's why music is so powerful. You get all these people together.
It is on YouTube. If you guys look that up right now, My Guitar Gently Weeps, type in Tom Petty, Prince, it'll come right up.
Yeah, that's some of the greatest when you just see amazingly talented people, and when they sit down and play together, it's just it's a spiritual type thing that's created.
You got Prince up there, and he's smirking at Tom Petty because he knows he's just fucking unbelievable. And Tom Petty's like, holy shit, man. Then you see George Harrison's kid. They're singing his dad's song. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love those kind of moments. Jesse said Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl's an entertainer. He's an entertainer and he's entertaining, but they have amazing musicians in that band too.
Well, they don't fuck around. They did that one, I think, Wasting Light, where they recorded in that garage.
Yeah.
And they did it old school style, where you had to play through the entire song without fucking up.
Right.
Musicians don't do that anymore.
No.
It's all copy. They'll play the guitar part. They'll fuck up the guitar part. They'll mix it up. To play it all the way through as a band and that's your recording.
They do things
remarkable.
just to show you how good they are.
Yeah.
And like nobody else would do that. Like most of the people today, like, I'm not doing that. You got to have a computer and I'm going to have this and we're going to then spend 3 hours editing it together. Yeah. Foo Fighters do that because they want to show nobody else can do this.
Oh,
we're actually talented.
We live in the time of the studio gangster. A lot of stuff is just copy paste. You don't have to play a whole song the whole way through to record some of this shit nowadays.
Yeah, and that's fine. You know, if you do that, that's fine. But to me, I think an extra. You have to put people who are true musicians and can sit down in a circle and just blow you away with playing a guitar. Where they're in a different category than somebody who has written a song for them and they went into a studio and then a great producer has mixed up something that sounds good. I'm not sitting there patting them on the back. It's like anybody you could have taken off the street could have done what you did.
That's not true.
For some of these singers, yes, it is.
Well, I mean,
some of them they do take off the street and they put them in a studio and somebody's made a hit for them and people pat them on the back. And I'm like, you should pat the engineer on the back because he's very good. The songwriter's really great. You're not so much.
I got an uncle up in Rhode Island, and if you got him into a studio, he's gonna probably try to punch the producer.
Well, he's drunk.
He's a real. Is he?
Drunkle.
He is so
Drunkle Clark.
There's some pills in there.
Pills. He's tough to wrangle.
I don't know if he would do well in the studio.
Yeah, and the thing that's great is, people listing off places where you can go and you can see, even around here, some good live music.
When I went out on a couple weeks ago, there was live music at the DOS Garden or the DOS one in Abacoa.
Oh,
yes.
Playing. Yep.
They are doing that. I see them on social media promoting that.
They're jamming out too, man.
Some of them are good. There was a guy that used to be around here. His name was Brian Bobo. And,
yes.
Remember he would play like Waterway, and he was fantastic. And I think he moved off to do music. Maybe he went to Nashville, but. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. I wish that South Florida had a little bit more of it. I know there are some great places that do have it, but it's just phenomenal when you find that. When I lived in Kansas City, I lived 2 blocks downtown from a place called the Phoenix, and you would go in there, and they had about maybe 8 feet of stage space, and they would have these musicians crammed up there, and it was the best music you'd ever hear. This very large woman drinking, I don't know, some kind of hard alcohol. She's smoking a cigar, and she's belting out the most unbelievable music you'd ever hear. Those places are great. And in New Orleans, they have that. Just every place is that. And that's amazing.
Frenchman Street. Ah, sorry. I'm struggling today.
I was going to say, your phlegm is fighting you hard.
Are you okay, Pumpkin?
I'm okay. I just forgot to drink my water. Frenchman Street in New Orleans is great for that.
Yeah.
You can just go in any of those bars, and there's a dozen of them, and you will hear great music.
The Rock Nation.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you. Over here struggling to breathe.
You know how it works in here. You can't
Go stick some lightning in your ass.
You can't fuck up around these parts and expect us just to move along.
Go fuck a lightning bolt.
We were talking the other day about Netflix and how they do cancel a lot of shows after 2 seasons, and the question was why. And somebody did a dive on that, deep dive to find out exactly why. And for Netflix, they're in a different structure of how they do things. If you see a network TV show, you've got not only the network, but also the distributor that have both invested money in it. Netflix is all alone in that. And so they use, I think it was a 28-day rolling rating system. And they know exactly how much they paid on a show, and they know exactly what kind of audience it has to hit and how much for them to be able to make it back. And if it's a losing proposition, they don't judge whether or not they've made a good show. They judge whether or not they've made a profitable show. And so you are seeing good shows that are finding a niche audience that are getting canceled after 2 seasons. And if you're in it and you're part of the niche, you can't believe it. Because you're like, this is a great show. Why would you cancel this?
You got to make sure your show goes more mainstream and do whatever you can with your platform to promote. Because niche ain't where it's at.
It is a good lesson to anybody out there anymore with the competition there is for content. That the best thing that you can do is when you like something, don't just like it, share it.
Right.
And
you might be saving it.
Yeah, that's it. And become an advocate for a show that you like, including ours.
No kidding.
And really share it, because you're going to start seeing an era, and we're already in it, but more so than ever. Cancellations are going to happen like crazy of good content, because we're really weeding out some of the bad, and there's a lot of really good stuff that you're going to see. Why did that get canceled? Well, not all good stuff now is going to make it, because you have to be good and, most importantly, profitable. And you're seeing that with Netflix. So that's the example of what digital is going to be doing to all forms of content.
I always feel like such a dirty whore on the Weird and Whatever podcast, because I get a little bit more in depth with about talking about sharing stuff and how it really does help. And a lot of people don't realize that sharing does help a podcast.
Sharing is caring.
It is, but it really, I mean, they always say, how can we help the show? How can we help the podcast? The sharing really does help.
It. Yeah,
it does.
help us expand the audience in a way, so that we can make whatever money we have to make to keep this thing going. And that's the same way with a Netflix show, that if you really fall in love with the show, best thing you do is try to share it on your socials and let people know, to try to help them expand that audience.
Spread the word.
You are seeing them. Yeah. Kevin Beavers sent an email because you're asking, hey, when you do those petitions to not cancel it, does that ever work? He did say fans of Sense8 begged for more after it was canceled 2 seasons in on Netflix, and the petition and the bitching helped them get a series finale movie. So they did placate to the fans, and we wrapped it all up, but you didn't get a 3rd season or a 4th season or a 5th. They were like, okay.
We'll give you a bone.
Yeah, we'll give you a bone. We'll maybe lose a little bit of money on it, not a ton, and we'll make you guys happy so you guys don't cancel it, because they don't want people canceling Netflix.
Right.
So we'll give you enough to not cancel, but we're not going to continue to lose money on Sense8.
I wonder how many people canceled with that whole cuties thing.
So, okay, I wanted to know that, and I wanted to see what the big hype was, and I started to play it because I didn't want to bash it without seeing it.
Right.
And then I felt weird about watching cuties by myself. So I just said, like 3 minutes in, if you looked at my Netflix, it just stops. Because I'm like, I don't fucking know. But from what I understand, I thought it was more of a documentary kind of a thing. It's a movie. So I was so out of the loop. I just know people were very mad about it. But I've done this in the past, especially on the air, act like I'm mad about something, and I didn't really see it, or I didn't have all the information, and that's kind of embarrassing when that happens.
Well, does it glorify it, or does it make fun of it? I think that was the difference. That I think if the show is glorifying sexualization, okay, nobody wants that. But if the show is an expose that shines a light on how these parents are insane and these kids are over-sexualized.
It was the over-sexualization of children because it was a scripted movie. But then you had the media defending it. I saw the media depending on what media outlet, but they were big time defending cuties. You know, this is a great piece. You got to make sure you watch it. It's a think piece. It changes your perspective. They really were going to bat for it. But then I saw the people's reviews, and people were not having it.
Huh.
So I would like to hear from KVJ Nationers that actually watched it.
The people were pissed about the poster.
I know.
I don't think most people watched it.
No, people did watch I saw a lot of commentary on it where people were bashing the content within the movie. Yeah. So, but again, I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't. I saw just the still shot, and I did not want to do a deep dive on it.
Because you don't want people thinking you're a pedophile by your cue.
Well, that's why I'm like,
right.
Okay, I gotta stop this.
I feel weird.
Nothing bad had happened yet in the movie, but because I was reading the reviews and I was putting it up and I was reading the reviews and I'm going, I'm gonna just stop this.
Cuties ain't my show.
I'm gonna watch Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. I got you. All right, well, we just got one day left. Tomorrow, we will see you here for a little Friday celebration. Have some fun. You guys enjoy your Thursday, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.